China's billion-dollar attack submarines possess the capability to inflict significant damage on the United States in mere seconds. For an extended period, the United States Navy has been regarded as the most formidable naval force globally. However, China has been channeling substantial investments into its military, developing state-of-the-art fighter aircraft and constructing attack submarines equipped with the destructive power necessary to confront any advanced adversary. With these technologically sophisticated vessels, China may finally be positioned to challenge its primary competitor. What are the capabilities of these maritime giants? Do they truly have the potential to overcome the naval supremacy of the United States? This analysis will delve into the destructive features and designs of these submarines, which could potentially neutralize U.S. naval forces in a matter of seconds. China's foreign policy is increasingly assertive, and the Chinese Navy, known as the Plan, is demonstrating its strength more frequently, particularly in the South China Sea. The nation is also establishing new bases in strategic locations such as Djibouti, Cambodia, and potentially Pakistan, thereby extending its operational reach. These sites are in proximity to potential conflict zones where the Plan may encounter other naval forces, including those in the South China Sea, the Pacific Ocean, and the Indian Ocean. The expansion of China's naval capabilities is evident through the introduction of new aircraft carriers, assault carriers, cruisers, and destroyers. However, the true strength lies in their progressively advanced submarines. The most modern vessels in China's fleet are the Type 093A Chongtu class, which are nuclear-powered and weigh approximately 7,000 tons. These submarines are comparable in size to the Royal Navy's Astute class and fit between the latest French Navy Suffren class and the US Navy's Virginia class. Before examining their advanced features, it is essential to consider the first generation of Chinese nuclear submarines, starting with the Type 091, also known as the Han class. This submarine represents China's inaugural nuclear-powered attack submarine and is the first of its kind developed in Asia, marking a significant milestone in China's nuclear submarine program. The project known as the 09 project received approval from Mao Zedong and the Central Military Commission in July 1958. Mao consistently advocated for the advancement of this program. However, in October 1959, progress was hindered when the Soviet Union declined to assist with the Great Leap Forward's nuclear weapons initiative, which had taken precedence. This led to a temporary halt in the submarine program in March 1963, although it resumed in March 1965 following China's successful first nuclear weapons test. During the hiatus, research on foreign nuclear marine propulsion systems continued, and in July 1965, a loop-based nuclear reactor, akin to Japan's MSU reactor, was selected over a more intricate design. The new submarine was significantly larger and more sophisticated than the diesel-electric submarines that China possessed at that time. The program accelerated as the first Type 091 submarine and its prototype reactor were developed concurrently. Pang Shilo served as the initial chief designer, with the technical design finalized in 1967 and detailed construction drawings completed by 1969. The construction of the first submarine, designated HO401, commenced in November 1968, and it was commissioned in August 1974. The second submarine, HO402, faced delays due to the Cultural Revolution and was commissioned in December 1980. The propulsion systems of the first two submarines experienced instability, mechanical failures, and subpar components, along with reports of insufficient radiation shielding. The high costs and limitations associated with the Type 091 and Type 092 ballistic missile submarines resulted in a diminished priority for new nuclear submarine development from the late 1970s through the early 1990s. The initial generation of Chinese nuclear submarines, comprising the Type 091 attack and Type 092 ballistic missile submarines, proved to be costly yet ineffective. Following the Cultural Revolution, there was a lack of political backing for further development, as it was not a priority during Deng Xiaoping's reform and modernization efforts. Nevertheless, research resumed in the 1980s, and by 1987, a new reactor design was under consideration. In 1994, support for new nuclear submarines increased under Zheng Jin, following the 1993 Yin incident amid ongoing tensions with Taiwan. Russian experts reportedly assisted in the design of the Type 93 submarines, with the first unit commencing construction in 1994 and entering service in 2006. However, the initial two submarines faced challenges related to speed and noise, leading to delays in the production of additional vessels to accommodate the Type 94 SSBN. The four Type 93A submarines, commissioned between 2015 and 2018, featured elongated, streamlined sails for enhanced speed and incorporated acoustic dampening technology derived from Russian Kilo-class submarines, resulting in quieter operations. The last two Type 93A submarines were particularly notable for their reduced noise levels, potentially marking them as China's first truly silent submarines. In January 2023, the first Type 993B submarine emerged, equipped with advanced pump jet propulsion. Its larger dimensions likely provide additional space for noise-reducing features, as acoustic stealth is critical for contemporary submarines. While the exact noise levels of these submarines remain classified, it is believed they are becoming increasingly stealthy. They are capable of carrying approximately 22 torpedo-sized weapons, which is fewer than some other submarines but comparable to the smaller Suffering class. This arsenal includes YJ-82 anti-ship missiles, rocket mines, and torpedoes, as well as U-6 thermal torpedoes akin to the U.S. Navy's 48 Malawian Quachars, along with electric torpedoes. Additionally, they are thought to be equipped with the YJ-13 supersonic cruise missile, likely serving as their primary weapon against both naval vessels and land targets, thus providing a first strike capability. During President Xi Jinping's visit to a Type 93A on June 11, 2018, YJ-18 launch canisters may have been observed. A notable distinction from Western submarines is the leadership structure within Chinese submarines, which includes both a captain and a political officer, or commissar, responsible for crew welfare, morale, and political unity. The commissar typically holds a rank equal to or higher than that of the captain. The effectiveness of this dual leadership model in combat situations, where rapid decision-making is essential, remains to be evaluated in the near future. China is considering the development of a variant equipped with a vertical launch system for land attack cruise missiles. There was initial speculation that the Type 93A might already feature a vertical launch system within the raised casing located behind the sail. However, this is likely the towed sonar array. A cruise missile variant of the Xiong-class submarine may serve as a precursor to the more advanced Type 95 Sui class, which has yet to see any launches. Recent satellite imagery indicates that a new class of nuclear submarines is under development. This class of attack submarines is among the most formidable in China's fleet, instilling apprehension in potential adversaries and contributing to China's increasing confidence in asserting dominance in naval operations. Additionally, it is pertinent to examine the Type 94 submarine, known by its NATO reporting name as the Gen class. This class of nuclear-powered submarines has been developed by China for its naval submarine force, succeeding the Type 092 and preceding the forthcoming Type 096 submarine. The Gen class is classified as a nuclear ballistic missile submarine, with 6 units currently in service within China's expanding fleet. Each submarine is outfitted with 12 missile launchers, capable of deploying a total of 72 missiles as part of China's nuclear defense strategy. At least 4, and possibly all, of these submarines are stationed at Hainan Island in the South China Sea, where they routinely patrol to safeguard against foreign anti-submarine threats. China aims to establish the South China Sea as a secure operational zone for its submarines. The principal designer of this submarine was Zhong Jinlin, and its design is believed to have been influenced by the Type 93 nuclear-powered attack submarine. The Type 94 was first observed in satellite imagery in late 2006 at the XEL Pingel submarine base, with the first unit commissioned in 2007 and 6 operational by 2020. These submarines commenced nuclear deterrent patrols in December 2015. According to the United States Department of Defense, the Type 094 represents China's inaugural credible sea-based nuclear deterrent. Initially, these submarines were equipped with 12 JL-2 missiles, each featuring a single warhead, capable of striking parts of Alaska from locations near China. By late 2022, the submarines had been upgraded to carry JL-3 missiles, which can reach the continental United States from the South China Sea, boasting reported ranges exceeding 10,000 kilometers. The JL-2, also referred to as Julong-2, is a submarine-launched ballistic missile with an approximate range of 4,464 miles, as noted by the Congressional Research Service. This capability allows Chinese submarines to target areas in Alaska from regions close to China, although reaching the east coast of the United States would necessitate the submarines entering waters east of Hawaii. With the enhancement to the JL-3 missile, which possesses greater lethality and extended range, China gains the potential to launch attacks on the United States from a secure position in the South China Sea. Some American media sources suggest that the JL-3 may have a range exceeding 6,200 miles. Notably, the JL-3 is engineered to extend its range if necessary. Should China's missile submarines adjust their patrol areas to encompass the Bay of Biscay, a significant portion of North and South Dakota, as well as Montana, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Utah, and California, would be at risk. While it is feasible for China to target the entirety of the United States, such an operation would require its submarines to venture beyond Japan and Taiwan into the Western Pacific, where Chinese air and naval forces may struggle to protect them from adversarial anti-submarine warfare capabilities. Regrettably, Chinese missile submarines still lack the operational independence seen in their American counterparts. These submarines are noisier than modern designs. A Chinese researcher indicated in 2004 that the submarine's noise level reached 120 decibels, comparable to that of the Los Angeles-class submarines. In 2015, Australian researchers Brendan Thomas Nunn and Rory Medcalf highlighted that the noise levels and range of the JL-2 missile limited its effectiveness in striking the contiguous United States, although this was not necessarily the case for India. Additionally, in 2009, the United States Navy's Office of Naval Intelligence indicated that the Type 094 submarine was noisier than Soviet-era submarines from the late 1970s. The same researchers reiterated in 2015 that the noise and range of the JL-2 missiles diminished their capability to launch successful attacks on the United States, while not affecting their potential against India. China has yet to officially confirm the commissioning of JL-3 missiles, with information primarily sourced from American intelligence. Chinese military analysts contend that these missiles are being developed as a defensive measure against nuclear threats, asserting that U.S. military assessments are based on inaccurate information, which could justify an increase in defense spending and military presence in the Asia-Pacific region, particularly in light of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. Chief designer Zhang Jinlin, who oversaw the development of the Type 094, indicated that its design is likely derived from the Type 093 nuclear attack submarine. Commercial satellites identified a Type 094 at the Xiaopingdao submarine base in late 2006, with the first submarine entering service in 2007. By 2020, 6 submarines were operational, having commenced nuclear deterrence patrols in December 2015. According to the United States Department of Defense, the Type 094 represents China's first credible sea-based nuclear deterrent, initially equipped with 12 JL-2 submarine-launched ballistic missiles, each carrying a single warhead with a range of 7,200 kilometers, capable of reaching parts of Alaska from positions near China. By late 2022, these submarines were upgraded to carry JL-3 SLBMs, which reportedly have ranges exceeding 10,000 kilometers, allowing them to target the continental United States from the South China Sea. The Type 094A variant features a modified and enhanced sail, incorporating design elements from the upgraded Type 093A. The Navy is in the process of modernizing its Trident missiles to ensure their effectiveness over the next 25 years. These missiles will continue to be deployed on Ohio-class submarines as well as on the new submarines that are anticipated to be operational until the 2080s. The Trident submarines measure 560 feet in length, equivalent to nearly 2 football fields, and are capable of carrying 24 submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs, each of which can hold up to 8 100-kiloton nuclear warheads, approximately 8 times the explosive power of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The Trident missile itself stands at 44.6 feet tall and can reach a range of about 4,000 nautical miles when fully armed, extending to over 6,000 nautical miles with a reduced warhead load. The new Columbia-class submarines, currently under construction, designed to be the quietest submarines ever built. They utilize electric propulsion, which is smoother and more efficient compared to the mechanical drives found in other Navy submarines, and feature an X-shaped stern. In contrast, the Ohio-class submarines rely on a reactor that generates heat to produce steam, which powers turbines for propulsion and electricity generation. These submarines also measure 560 feet in length and can launch 16 Trident II D5 missiles from 44-foot-long tubes. As technology has progressed, submarines have transitioned from traditional propellers to quieter propulsors, although this shift has resulted in reduced surfacing capabilities, a challenge addressed by the X-shaped stern design. Electric propulsion employs a nuclear reactor to generate steam for turbines, but instead of using reduction gears, it directs power to an electric motor. This method is more efficient than mechanical drives, optimizing reactor power usage and allowing for greater energy availability for other onboard systems. The SSBN-X, designed for the Columbia class, is projected to serve for 42 years, complete 124 patrols, and maintain a nuclear fuel core throughout its operational life. Unlike the Ohio-class submarines that require refueling, the Columbia class will have a beam of at least 42 feet and will retain the same submerged dimensions as the Ohio class, while incorporating the latest advancements in stealth technology for its expected 40-year service life. The design details includes an X-shaped stern control surfaces, sail-mounted dive planes, and an electric drive system, incorporating elements from earlier submarine models such as pump jet propulsors, anecho coatings, and large aperture B sonar systems. Additionally, it may feature the Federated Tactical System for Submarine Warfare, which integrates sonar, optical imaging, and weapons control to enhance cost efficiency and minimize noise. The Columbia class opts for electric drive systems in lieu of traditional gears and mechanical components. This electric drive will harness a nuclear reactor and steam turbines to produce electricity for propulsion motors and ancillary systems. Historically, electric drive systems were effectively utilized in United States battleships and aircraft carriers during the early 20th century, as well as in the small nuclear-powered submarine USS Taliban in the late 1950s. A larger nuclear submarine, USS Leonard P. Lipscomb, also employed electric drive but was noted for its weaknesses, unreliability, and high maintenance demands. As of 2013, only the French Triomphant-class submarines had adopted electric drive technology. In 2014, Northrop Grumman was awarded the contract to design and manufacture the turbine generator units for the Columbia class, while Leonardo Doctors was selected to supply the main propulsion motor. The first motor was delivered to Electric Boat in August 2022. Future U.S. submarines are exploring the use of permanent magnet motors and high-temperature superconducting synchronous motors for electric propulsion. The design of the Zumwalt-class destroyers transitioned from permanent magnet motors to advanced induction motors. Permanent magnet motors were evaluated for late-production Virginia-class submarines and future variants. The German and Italian navies utilized Cummins AG permanent magnet motors on Type 212 submarines. The Royal Navy's new Dreadnought-class submarine may implement a shaftless drive system with an electric motor positioned outside the pressure hull. The U.S. Navy has considered this approach, but it remains uncertain whether the Columbia class will adopt it. SSD systems link steam turbines to electric turbo generators, which in turn connect to an electric motor outside the hull to drive the pump jet propulsor. Certain SSD concepts do not incorporate pump jet propulsors. A 2005 model proposed that the Columbia class could visually mirror the Virginia class in order to reduce expenses and mitigate construction risks. When comparing the capabilities, stealth, and advancements of the attack submarines from both nations, which do you believe would prevail in a confrontation? Thank you for your attention. While you are still with us, please click on the link displayed on your screen to explore another one of our videos. We look forward to seeing you there.